Raise your voices, raise your glass high. Welcome to the Drink O'Clock Podcast. Let's dive. Oh, grab an old fashioned and join the fray. Raise your spirits, let the music play. From the corner pub to the dance hall floor. Drink O'Clock Podcast, we're ready for more.
And we are live, baby. Let's go.
Ooh.
It is I'm excited. You know, it's almost the weekend. We're pushing that. Like Thursday's I don't think Wednesday's the real hump day. I think Thursday's the hump day. Because
Definitely,
Wednesday's still center of the week. You still got 2 more days. Thursday, you're like, yeah, baby, let's go. I can have a couple drinks on a Thursday, deal with it a little bit on Friday. You know what I mean? Anyway, I digress. This is the Drink O'Clock Podcast. I am your host, Rob Valincius, and I have the pleasure of having with me Chris Dattoli, who is a professional voice actor. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Rob. Appreciate it. Happy to be here.
I don't know if you're allowed to drink in your voice booth, but I've broken my rules over the past like 3 weeks of drinking on my show. But cheers! You don't have to drink to be on the show, of course.
Cheers. Wish I just got off from one session, so I just hopped in and forgot to grab a drink.
You're good, man. You're good. So, yeah, dude, voice acting, it's something I've always been intrigued with because a lot of times, I'll tell you, so the start of this podcast was because I'm a gamer. I'm a nerd. I game.
As am I. No shame in that.
So I play a lot of Valorant. I'm a PC gamer.
Okay.
I'm a competitive person. So I can't be competitive anymore because I'm fat and old. I used to play a lot of basketball. So I can't do that anymore. So I play a lot of Valorant because it gets the competitive juices out of me, you know? And I was streaming at the time. So I did a lot of streaming, and I made a lot more money streaming than I did doing this. But yeah, people kept saying to me, hey, you have an awesome voice. You should be like an announcer or a voice actor or something. And I'm like, maybe I'll just start a podcast. And I'm the drinker of my friend group. I don't have a problem. Well, people that have problems go to meetings, but no, I don't ever like I almost never get drunk unless it's a special occasion, my birthday.
Right.
You know,
I'm
shit
the
like
same
that.
way, so
Like
I
that.
hear you.
Have a little bit of whiskey, chill, maybe drink a beer, whatever. And that's how the podcast was born, was because people kept saying to me, and I have a mixer. It's not a great mixer. It's an okay mixer. And I have it tuned up decently. And, you know, when you're playing video games, sometimes you're over here and you're like, bro, your mic sucks. What are you doing? You know, you get a TV mic, you know? But that's kind of how my podcast was born. So talk to me a little bit about growing up. Did you always want to be a voice actor, you know, or how did you kind of grow up and then kind of stumble into this?
Absolutely. So when I was young, I was so hyper and energetic that my dad said to me, he goes, Chris, I swear to God, when you're older, you're going to talk to yourself in a padded room all day long. And I just wanted to prove him right. So, you know what? There you go.
Parents are always right at some point. They're right?
Yeah. So I'll tell my daughters that, father of 3. So, just when I was young, way back then, where Nickelodeon actually did all their filming in Orlando at the Orlando studios, I actually was touring the studios, and they took one tour group, which was me and my parents, and they said, hey, you know, listen, we're filming a show right now. It's a pilot. Would you like to be involved with it? And we were like, yeah. And I actually got to be picked, and I was on the pilot of the show. I don't think it ever came to fruition because we did 2 episodes like back to back. It was like adults versus kids or something like that.
That's cool.
Eventually I got to be on an episode of Wild and Crazy Kids. So ever since then, I kind of got like a little bit of the acting bug. And I did a lot of theater. And it wasn't until around 2013, 2014. I always had a passion for doing, like, making voices and everything, and like cheering up whenever I would eat dinner. I put on a big show for my family. So I had some theatrics to me.
Yeah.
2014, a friend introduced me to a website called Voice Acting Alliance. So I did like a few like free like projects on there. And a publishing company heard my voice in one of the projects I did, and they said, "Hey, listen, would you mind auditioning for an audiobook from this author called Sydney Ade? It was called After the End." Um, I did audition for it, got it, and that was my first really big like paycheck. And I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know about residuals, and like all of a sudden, like I got this big paycheck, and I thought, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, if I'm really gonna live a passion of mine that I wanted to for years, I got to go about the right way. So I did research. I took the money I got, I invested it into coaching. Then eventually, I made a professional demo with my coach. Then I brought, sent it out to agents. Eventually, I got one. Then I got work. Then made another demo. Got more voiceover work, and so on and so on. I just kept taking a percentage of my money and just reinvested into training and kept doing that over and over and over again until I'm at where I'm at right now. And I made a few mistakes along the way, trusted a few wrong people, but
Don't we
you know,
all?
as someone told me, life is a tough teacher because she gives the test before the lesson. So
That's quite true.
yeah, that's
Um,
actually I have a passion for making medieval armor. And it was actually the guy who was teaching me how to make armor. He taught me that. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
that all right. So you might be more nerdy than me then. I feel like I'm a nerd, but there's a next level up from me. I think you got me by a little bit. I have some friends that do. They make their own like what's the paintable Warhammer?
Oh yeah, the Eva foam
Yeah.
armor and cosplaying and everything. Yeah, I hand it to those people. They're very talented. I can't do that. No, it was just something because I would go to Renaissance fairs and I would always be dressed up, and I was gonna join something called the SCA, which is the Society of Creative Anachronism, which is like people actually go out and beat the crap out of each other with rattan swords and everything, wearing like period authentic clothing and weapons. And I was gonna do that, and I made the armor and I wore it to Renaissance festivals. I actually got an acting job wearing that armor for a show. Unfortunately, I can't talk about, but it was pretty cool. I got I took a picture of me in my armor, and someone said gave it to my agent, and they're like, "Hey, will you be interested in doing this?" I'm like, "Why not?" And I got it. I'm like, "Oh, cool." Hey, nerd, my nerdism got me a job.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is nerds are in, man.
Oh yeah,
It's not as bad to be a nerd now. I mean, there's some dudes that just play video games and make more money than I'll ever see in a lifetime. you
oh
know?
yeah. I hand it to them to sit there because everyone said like, "Oh, they're just playing video games all day." I'm like, "No, man. Like it's like 12 hours they're sitting there playing. Sometimes to one person, sometimes to no one, and they never lose momentum. And that is actually the key to success: going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And to sit there and do that, adjust positions and everything, get like really passionate. I hand it to anyone. Any field looks easy if you're good at it.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's people have been saying that for years, right? I mean, they're just playing a video game. But and look, I was the first person to say it, but when I started streaming video games, people say that, oh, you're playing video games for people, but there's a lot to it. And I
Yeah.
know that maybe that just sounds, not counterproductive, but it sounds weird to say because I was making a couple $100 a month playing video games for people. But,
Yeah.
I also, that doesn't pay my bills. So I'd work,
Mm,
I'd come home, I'd stream video games for 3 or 4 hours. Some days
yeah.
there would be one person, some days there would be 20. And some days it would be great. And I had a great day at work. So it was a great day. Some days I just, because you always have to be on for people.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
The
You just have to.
charm, the smile, the charisma. I applaud some people because they can have that charm, charisma for 12 hours a day in front
Yeah.
of 1,000 people. And it's like, I don't know how they do it, man.
Yeah, I hand it to him. That's incredible. It really is a feat. And I think everyone who just doesn't understand something tries to knock it down. Like, oh, you're just playing video games. I heard all the time, oh, you're just talking. Yeah, just talking. Till they say ganglio and Rosia 3 times fast and try to make it conversational. All right. So,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
dude, it's just, yeah, it's like, oh, well, that you're a voice actor. Well, yeah, I'm an actor. There's a lot of craft that goes into what you do, And it's the same thing with people that compete. Like, watch the Valorant, like VCT, like the championship
Mm-hmm.
series. I mean, these
Oh yeah.
guys. I mean, all they do is train. Like, the game itself is a difficult game. And I've been playing it since beta. So like, it's a difficult game anyway. But then once you get into that level, I mean, these people are killing you before you even step around the corner. They already know where you're
Yeah.
stepping because they've played it so much that it's frustrating if you're,
It is. Oh my god.
someone that's just getting into it.
Yeah, I remember when playing like Master Blaster and Monster Party on like Nintendo and Super Nintendo,
Oh yeah.
and like oh god, the old school Mega Mans, just how difficult they were. Oh
But there was
man, like
something about beating a Mega
it
Man boss,
was,
dude.
it's just like a sense like wow, I did it. Like now, there's so many save points in video games now. It's almost like I actually went back and tried to play those games. I'm like, man, I suck. How was I good at this game? Like I can't- and I hand it to anyone who like goes around and like I'm like I played Valorant a few times and I'm like all right, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm dead. Let me get up. I'm dead again. All right, what? I'm like what the f is going on? Like what can I do, man? Like and
It's very skill based Valorant.
yeah.
But a lot of games like I played Apex Legends a lot too. Apex is fast paced, right? There still
Mhm.
is a skill cap that you have. Like, you just have to develop these things as you go. And it's the same thing, right, with your craft. I mean, how long were you doing the voice acting before? I know you said you kind of, that was your first like real money, but when did you
Right.
really know that you had something going on?
Right when I did that audiobook. But actually no, forgive me. It was actually doing like a radio play project for free. And some guy said, "Listen, Chris, I want you to know you got some really good talent, and honestly, man, I would do something with it." And it was just like a random person, never met, just auditioned, and I got it's a free part, and I'm like, huh, maybe I should like, and just I know when I get behind the mic, I feel happy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel ultimate joy, despite if I have to play sad or depressed characters or villains and everything, what have you. I know, like, no matter what I'm doing, like, sometimes I'm not in the mood, but once I start like getting into character or like reading the script and breaking it down and analyzing it, I know I'm in my element, and I just feel so happy doing it. And it's just like every time to this day, I still haven't lost that passion. I'm just like, I feel really good. Like, I love it. Just like once, like I step behind that mic and I just felt that wave of like, well, that's really fun. I'm like, let me keep at it. Let me, despite, I mean, in other countries like in England, like acting's kind of like basically like a full-time job. It's theater acting. So if you say, "Oh, I'm an actor," you're like, "Oh," in England, you think, "Oh, that's pretty interesting. That's cool." Like, "Oh, you must do theater. You must do this." If you do it in America, "Yeah, I'm an actor." Like, "Yeah, what restaurant you work at, buddy?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. I'm like, "All right, Applebee's," but hey,
Hey,
so
hey, if it pays the
not
bills, man.
pays the bills. I don't care.
Did you do what a lot of younger kids do? So I've had a I love interviewing actors and authors because there's a craft to what they do, but everyone has a different path to where they got. And in a lot of cases, I've talked to a couple people where they were kids, they were 18, 19, 20. They said, "All right, I'm going to LA and I'm going to make it." What's
Mhm.
your story there? Did you obviously voice acting might be a little different. You don't necessarily have to go to LA, right? But did you just say fuck it? I'm going for this. And did you drop anything significant to do it?
Absolutely. I quit my job. I actually have a
From
degree
Applebee's.
in
Like, I
yeah.
quit Applebee's. No.
No, actually, I was come from the corporate marketing world. I went to
Okay.
school for marketing and business marketing, and I was pretty
Fun.
high up at this one company, probably an executive level, and I
Nice.
just wasn't happy. And I remember walking in I mean, it was the day before there was a big holiday party, and I wasn't invited. And I said, "Why wasn't I invited?" And the CEO said, like, "Oh, I thought you were going to eat all the food." And he said that. I'm like,
What?
wow, you're an asshole, man. Like, forgive the language. I'm like, wow.
Say
So I
whatever
remember.
language you want here, brother.
All right, I appreciate it. Careful, I'm an Italian from the Jersey Shore. I might
I'm from
say
Philly,
yeah.
brother.
All right,
So
perfect. All right.
we're Northeasterners. It's just part of the language, man.
So I remember I sat down at my desk the other day and I just looked around and I said, I'm not happy. I said, I walked in, I said, I quit. And I just threw the computer down. I'm like, I'm done. And they were trying to like talk to me on the way out. I'm like, no, I'm done, man. I'm done. Like, fuck their shit. I'm out. And I got back home like, I'm going for voice acting full time. That's what I'm gonna do. And it was the best move I did, and also the worst move I did because I was a single father raising two daughters. I have full custody of my two older daughters. Their mom kind of took off when my youngest was born. Excuse me, my middle child now. So in a small apartment, like God, I need to do something. But I said no. If I just focus on the voice acting, it's gonna come to me. And I just kept auditioning for projects, not getting anything, kept at it, just kept going and going and going from early in the morning to late at night while taking care of the kids, while not getting an income because I quit. So I couldn't get unemployment and everything. But every now and then I would get a job that would keep me afloat. I'm like, all right, I can pay my bills this month. I can eat a little something. Just it would be one or two jobs getting me that. Then eventually I got more and more jobs. Eventually I got another agent, and it led to me like really pursuing voice acting full time. But the moment was like, and I was making like, I don't want to say like how much you made or anything, but it was a pretty good paycheck I was making, and I let it go. Like most people be like, I know my brother said, just grit, like come on, grin and bear it. What's wrong with you? You stupid? You let go of a job to what? You can do voice acting? Are you stupid? What's wrong with you? My brother's very old school, tough love, by the way. But
I'm old
he was
school,
right. I'm like,
yeah. We're all like that, I feel like. The
yeah.
Northeast,
And I'm like,
we're just kind of,
yeah.
I think that's just part, like the PA, Jersey, New York. Like we're all kind of tough love here. It's not like it's not a frilly, like do what you want.
No.
No, it's like, bro, you're stupid. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
it's exactly like that. And you know what? Looking back, I'm like, I am stupid, but this is what I want to do. So I'm gonna do it. So that's exactly what I did. So I benefits and everything. I said goodbye to that and pursued voice acting and got maybe one or two jobs a month that just barely covered the life essentials, rent and everything, and taking care of my two kids too. So I would take care of them, voice act, be up all hours of the night, and just kept at it for months. Then, eventually work found to me. I got a little more work, made another demo, saving money for that. And here I am today. And I never stop learning. I think the second you think you're the master of your craft, like you're done learning, that's when you're going to fail. You
Yeah.
never. I've talked to voice actors who've been in the industry for 40 years who learn new things. Bob Bergen's one, Rob Paulson, Steve Bloom, just some of like the big names who like they if you ask them, they never stop learning. They constantly, you know, go with different coaches, or they learn new techniques and everything. They stay up to different trends or what have you. And I know I could always, maybe this is my military, my family's, I come from a military family. Just thinking like, you could always be a little better.
Yeah.
Like, not like you're a piece of garbage or anything like that, but like, you could always do a little better. I like more like, I think you can improve a little bit. So I just always have the mindset like, I think I can improve a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good mindset to have, because especially in today's day and age, and hopefully it sounds like you're kind of bestowing that on your kids too, which is good, because we live in our culture now is very like
Yeah,
trophies for nothing.
exactly.
You cater to look. I got my ass beat if I wasn't acting right. My dad, like, I'll never forget. My dad listens to this podcast, so he'll probably remember this. And I talk to him every day. I was in the backseat of his car with my brother, and him and my mom were in the front seat. And I didn't like the answer he gave me for something. I forget what it was. I'll be 40. The wifey's behind here. She's gonna probably give me crap because I say I'm 40, but I'm 39. I just turned 39 last month.
Oh, congrats, man. I'm right behind you.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's like
Yeah.
1 year closer to death. But so I'm me and my brother in the back seat, my dad and mom in the front. And my dad always had eyes in the back of his head. So I don't know why I did it, but he said something I didn't like, so I mimicked him. And he turned around and did the backhand slap right into my
Yep.
face. And he's like, don't you ever fucking mock me. And my dad never really, like, my dad didn't hit me a lot.
Yeah, of course. You know.
Twice my dad hit me. One was with the fucking workout, those thick ass workout belts from the 90s that you'd put on your
yeah.
back. One was with that, one was the backhand. That was the only time I remember my dad ever hitting me. And I deserved it.
Yeah.
But kids aren't getting hit like that these days. But I tell you what, did I ever mock my dad again? Not a damn time. Not ever again did I mock my dad. But it's good to have that and instill it into your kids because, I mean, I feel like we're quick to give up.
Yeah.
And I think what shows us as human, and who you are as a human being is who you are when you get back up. If you get back up. Some people don't, right? They just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's hard to make the decision that you made where you said, fuck this good paying job where I'm miserable. I'm going to go do something I enjoy and I think I have potential and I'm going to do well at.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes by the time people realize that, I work in the senior market, so I deal with a lot of older people. I think by the time people realize that, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily too late, right? Because we can always be something different, but too late in life, you realize I've been miserable for 40 years. Yeah, I made money, I paid my bills, but now I'm just angry all the time when they could have pursued the things they really wanted. And I think that's admirable. It's tough to do.
It is. And probably the best success story I have from me doing that was actually my brother's best friend, who's essentially like a brother to me. His mom and my mom have been best friends for, I want to say like friggin' 60 years, I guess. I don't know, something like that. But he actually was an x-ray technician. And one day he quit and became a barber. And I'm like, well, that's a big change. And like, as he was cutting my hair, he was telling me, you inspired me, Chris. When I heard that you quit your job and you did voice acting, you actually made me quit becoming an x-ray technician and pursue like becoming a barber. And like, I want to say thank you for that. I'm like, that's probably, if I never make a big paycheck in my life, if I never get a AA, AAA, or single A video game cast or whatever, that is the best thing I could ever hear in my life. Just that was really impactful. And that also inspires me to this day. And now he's a damn good barber. He's a barber to the celebrities. He like cut, if you ever saw Blink-182's, oh God, was it Edging? That music video,
Yeah.
he cut his director, he cut Todd Frazier's, he cuts like the celebrities' hair now. He's
crazy, dude.
He's a big guy, and he's damn good too. So I'm like, that's awesome. Look at him, like I'm really happy for him. So Kevin, if you're listening, you're doing a great job, man. Thank you for giving me the kind words.
And that's the other thing too. You never know, and look, whether it's I've been doing this podcast for it'll be 3 years next week that I've been doing this podcast.
Wow, congrats, man.
Thank you. And it's tough. Sometimes I get not many listens, not many downloads. Some episodes that I think are going to do really well don't. Some episodes that I think aren't going to do well do really well. And for me, I want to leave a legacy behind, and I'm not going to probably have kids. We're dog people, so we have dogs. Those are our kids. But it's like the things I put on YouTube are still kind of gonna exist when I'm gone, right? And maybe things I put out, maybe in 10 years, someone finds it and it changes their thought process. And to me, that's good enough.
Yeah.
I don't have to be Joe Rogan, and that may be cool. It'd be cool.
Yeah. It would be awesome to be like to reach that level. But you know what? There's certain things that you do that leaves you satisfied. If you're satisfied and if you're happy, fuck it, man, that's awesome.
Who is the voice actor? And my favorite voice actor probably of all time is Mark Hamill, but I'm biased because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And a lot of people don't realize
I knew we were going to get along on this same.
Just how many things that he voices. But who is your? I don't know if it's Mark Hamill or not, but who's like the person in your industry that you would die to like meet or get to do a gig with?
So there's a couple. Mark Hamill's definitely one. Mark Hamill, Steve Bloom, Rob Paulson, Frank Welker, but I don't know if he. I don't think he retired. If you don't know who Frank Welker is, he is every single cartoon character in the 80s and 90s. He's Fred, everyone. Starscream,
Oh,
Doctor
nice.
Doom from Inspector Gadget, Soundwave. I think it was Soundwave, the tape recorder in Transformers.
Yep.
Love to do a project with him. And oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank, Steven? I'm drawing a blank another one, but it's going to come to me. Just to kind of do like work with them or to meet them on a professional level. I think that
Yeah.
was awesome. Oh, Peter Cullen too. I like his always admired his voice and everything.
Dude, Mark Hamill's just
I know,
his
right?
Joker is no one beats his Joker. I don't care
I
what you
know.
say.
And to think Tim Curry was actually cast as a Joker beforehand.
Really?
Yeah, it was Tim Curry. He was the voice of the and if he did a different like approach to it. And I forget the reason why like he wasn't like he did a few episodes. I forget the reason why he wasn't chosen, maybe like a conflict or maybe they went a different direction, but yeah, it was just his Joker was like an interesting interpretation of it. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. And Mark Hamill, yeah, again, I'm a big Star Wars. I grew up around Star Wars. Um, when I took my family to Disney a few years ago, it was like the first big family vacation we went on. And I said, listen, I will buy anyone anything they want. I will do any ride, go on any ride, whatever you want. Just when we get to the Star Wars area in Hollywood Studios, just let me be. Let me be. And they did,
That's
which was
awesome.
awesome. I got to drink the green milk. I get the blue milk. I got to go, and you know what? They actually had a blast too, because no one in my family's a nerd like me. I nerded up for everyone, so it was pretty. Like they left me, and they had a great time on the rides and everything. So yeah, I grew up with Star Wars. Love it to this day. I would love one day to work with like Mark Hamill or Steve Blooms, and definitely work with him and the other ones I mentioned too.
What did Steve Bloom do?
Steve Bloom, he is a lot of voice actors. He was Wolverine. He was
Nice.
Starscream again in Star Wars animated. He was Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
He was also Tom from Toonami. If you heard him, you would know.
I was gonna say
He's a senior
I
character.
definitely can. I feel like I can hear him now.
Yeah. If you I think it's Rorody Kenshin. He was one of the main antagonists in that, but he went under a different name. There are so many. If you heard his voice, you would know who it is immediately.
I'll say this. So the closest I got to meeting Mark Hamill. So I used to work for GameStop. I started as a holiday person, and I moved my way all the way up to I was a district manager in training.
Okay,
basically.
cool.
I was a store manager at the time, and GameStop back in the day, they were making tons of money. They had over 4,000. They had like I think over 5,000 stores or something crazy then. And this was when Batman: Arkham Asylum came out. Oh, don't mind me. My dog has seizures, so we give her seizure medication
Okay.
at two intervals every day. Eight in the morning, 8 at night.
Okay.
She's okay. She's this little psychopath, but she's been dealing with it for 5 years, 6 years now, something like that. But so I was at they would have these big conferences for store managers and district managers and regionals, basically everyone from store manager up. It was a way for like the store managers to feel part of corporate, right? And they would have these hall meetings where they would all of the big companies would announce major games there. Like it was almost like our Gamescom or what was the big one that they got rid of? What was the big gaming convention that they got rid of? Why can't I think of it right now?
Oh my gosh. My brain's fried.
Oh my God, E3. My
Oh
wifey.
yeah.
How the hell did you remember
Mhm.
that? Oh, she
cheater.
models. She models, and they used to ask her to model at it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. She's worked some pretty fucking cool events, and I told her they asked her the one time to do the Super Bowl, and I was like, if you go to the Super Bowl and you don't bring me, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so they would bring Xbox and PlayStation, and they'd actually make announcements at this meeting. It was cool. So we did Vegas multiple times. We did San Antonio. We did Houston. Like they would do some pretty big venues. And Mark Hamill was there for Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
when they announced, I don't know if it was the second one, might have been the second one that they announced, and he came out on stage as the Joker. And
Oh, wow.
everyone, now I didn't have good seats then because they sat you based on your rank. So our district sucked that year. So
Oh,
we were pretty high up. Of course, the next year we were in the front row on the floor. I would have freaked out if I got to see Mark Hamill that close because obviously Luke Skywalker, I would have been freaking out. But his Joker's just next level, man.
absolutely.
What all goes into, and obviously voice acting is a little different, right? Because you just kind of have you, yourself, and I.
Hmm.
How do you get into your role? Like, what's your creative process look like on that side of things?
So there's a few ways. If I'm reading, like if it's like commercial or like e-learning, something like that, what I do is I have 5 pictures. I took them down right now, but there's 5 pictures I put in my studio. One's my wife, one's my best friend, one's my kids, one's my mom, and one is someone who I absolutely hate with a passion. And what I do is if I'm reading something, I look at them and I read the script. You're not really like, you get to a point where like eventually you're not going to have to read the script. You can just like look at it and like go back and forth. So I'll like the reason. So, and I'll pull different emotions looking at those pictures. The way I talk to my kids is different. The way I talk to my wife, the way I talk to my best friend is going to be different. The way I talk to my mom, and the one I talk to someone who I hate is different than than I talk to my wife.
Now
And
hold
that's
on.
going to pull out.
Is the person you hate, is it someone that you know?
It is someone that I know. It's
That's awesome.
just, yeah,
That's
it's
awesome,
someone I
dude. I
know.
love
I
it.
just hate the piece of shit with a passion. Um,
That
so
is a great thing. Like if you're listening to this, you're gonna be a voice actor. That is a good tip right there. I like that.
and I like it. So I'm always talking to those pictures because I pull different emotions out. If it's like a character and anything, usually when they have give you a script, they have like a breakdown of the character. A lot of it's kind of bullshit, if you will. Like, oh, they were from this planet, blah 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 blah. All right, I'll look at the picture and I'll kind of study it a little bit, and I'm like, all right, if they're an assassin or if they're a young fighter or someone with a dark past and they kind of brush it off. So I'll decide, all right, maybe I'll go mid range, maybe I'll go high range, maybe I'll go low range, like kind of like mid range is how I'm talking right now. High range is kind of like how I'm speaking right now. Low range is, I'm talking to you right now. And I also put my body into it too. I let it kind of take my body, I squiggle around a little bit. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to let go. And I'll kind of open my eyes slowly. I'm like, and then I'll just get into character depending what it is. Sometimes I'll go as far as now. Everyone doesn't have to do this. I don't believe in self harm, but maybe I'll scratch my nose or I'll squeeze something to kind of give me a little pain. Um, I'll sometimes like hit myself from fighting and everything. I'm like, so I kind of feel that pain a little bit. I'm a little method. I'm also a little
Yeah.
psychopath as well.
Hey, I
So
mean, look, you, if it, oh, of course, my damn fucking alarm.
that's
Hold
all
on,
right.
I keep hitting the damn snooze and not turning it off. Yeah, look, I mean, if it's what's getting you in to character,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not like, taking a razor blade, I think you're all
No, no,
right.
I haven't done that yet, but like I'll just kind of I have to remember that no one can see me. So they have to hear the anger. They have to hear the smile. Some like what a great piece of advice I got from one of the coaches I worked with was let them hear your smile. I'm like, well, how the fuck can they hear me smile? And now I get it. I'm like, oh, okay. They're gonna know whether you're reading a script and you're smiling. They're gonna know whether you're just kind of like, I don't care, the next job, whatever. So people are gonna understand that you can't bullshit people
It's true.
when you're trying to sell a product. So and especially when it like comes to video games and anime, and I go full into it. Like, no matter what, I go, I'll take the script and I know. Oh, this is what else I do. I know everyone's going to read the script a certain way. Everyone's going to approach it and go, oh, I'm going to go this way. So they'll start off like, oh, hey guys. Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey guys. I think, all right, if everyone's going to go right, I'm going to go left. So if I could do it correctly, like oh hey guys, everyone goes, oh hey guys, oh hey guys. I go, oh hey guys, or something like stupid like that. And I
Yeah.
also have a lead in, so whenever I'm in a commercial, I kind of look at the picture and be like, hey girls, you know what's funny? You got to really try this new milkshake from McDonald's. It's incredible. Just kind of like, because that lead in helps break down the script, helps me get into character, and also kind of makes that transition a lot more smoother. So those are a few things that I do. And always, no matter what, I always say, like, I hope I get this project, but if I don't, there's a 4-letter word that I use that I absolutely love, and that is next.
I was gonna say
So
fuck.
everyone always thinks it's fuck, but it's just next. I'm like, all right, I'll send the audition, excuse me, and I forget about it. I keep the files and everything, I don't like
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's in God's hand because they're getting like hundreds, if not thousands, of auditions. So, I'll be like, all right, you know what? There's always another project. There's always another project, especially right now because my wife and I just had a baby. She's 10 months old. So
Oh,
I'm not doing
congrats.
as many. Thank you. Thank you. Not doing as many projects as I used to because I have to take care of, her and my wife, my other 2 daughters who are teenagers. God help me. But, you know, uh,
All
so
girls?
all girls.
Oh man, you're in
And
for a tough one, brother.
oh, what's the tough one? You'll appreciate this. So I'm sorry. Don't shoot me. I am a Giants fan.
Hey, listen.
So
Listen. If you're from New York, New Jersey, and you're a Giants fan, I get it. If you're like in Chicago and you're a Giants fan, that makes sense. I'm going to make fun of you. I'm from Philly. I'm an Eagles fan. That's just, it is what it is. I don't hate the Giants. I actually don't really mind the Giants. I don't even really hate, I hate the Commanders, but we all hate Dallas. We all hate Dallas, right? I mean, it's like a
yeah, we agree
collective
on that.
hatred.
We all hate Dallas. Yeah, there we go.
I feel bad for taking Saquon from you guys. Kinda.
That's okay. But what was really evil is my wife is an Eagles fan, and she
Oh
made my
no.
daughters Eagles fans too. And I'm like, you don't even watch friggin' football. Why are you an Eagles fan? Oh, I'm so happy they won the Super Bowl. I'm like, stop talking about shit you don't know, man. You're just doing this to piss me off. So,
That doesn't shock me in any way, though.
all right.
Let's be honest, right?
And I'm like, you know what? I don't mind the Eagles. I don't mind the Eagles. I don't mind the Steelers. It's sometimes with the fans, they can get a little, what's the word, crazy. And
Our fans get a bad rap, okay?
yeah,
I will. All right, look.
not all of them because I met some wonderful ones.
I feel like it's like the 1% that's wasted because they've been drinking since midnight, and they're the ones that give us a bad rap. You
Yeah.
know, throwing
Yeah.
batteries at Santa Claus. All that I've been hearing about it for fucking years, but we're
Yeah.
all not too
Oh.
bad. Just look. Here's the thing. I wouldn't wear an Eagles jersey to the Giants stadium when we're playing the Giants because I am smart. I would just wear normal
Exactly.
clothes. If a Giants fan is coming to watch the Eagles at Lincoln Financial, I recommend don't wear a Giants jersey.
Exactly.
You're going to get heckled. And some people take that heckling to like borderline
Another level.
harassment.
Oh, I got when I was in college, my roommate, I went to Stockton, which is in southern Jersey.
Yeah.
He did a mean thing. He goes, hey man, let's go to a bar. There's a nearby bar, my treat. I got you. And just so happened like the Giants were playing that night. He goes, oh, put on your Giants gear. So I put on my Giants gear, had the shirt and hat, went to the bar, all Eagles fans.
Oh,
And I
no.
look at him, and the hostess goes, you're brave. And I look, I'm like, you are an asshole, Joe. Why?
Is he
Oh.
trying to get you killed, bro?
Oh my God. I went to the bar, bartender goes like, I'm not serving a Giants fan. I'm like, well, my money's green. Does that count? I don't care, man. Get away from me. I'm like, dude. He's like, all right, I got you. He bought my drinks and food. The looks I got, I'm like, I'm gonna probably die. I'm like,
North Jersey. Are you in North Jersey?
I'm in Central Jersey.
Okay, so you're like
Which
what,
is-
Freeholdish?
Yeah, exactly. Freehold,
Okay.
Tom's River. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's
No.
not terrible. I mean, you could go either way there as a Giants or Jets
Exactly,
fan,
yeah.
kind of.
So, yeah.
We have a lot of
so
South Jersey Eagles fans here.
there are. Yeah. There are.
I mean, I don't
That's
blame
just,
them because unfortunately, I mean, at least the Giants have won Super Bowls over the past, 20 years, whereas the Jets are.
exactly.
Could be
Yeah.
worse. It could be
It could be
worse.
worse. I could be a Detroit
Um.
Lions fan.
Ooh. Yeah. That. I mean, look,
Sorry.
you have a team that good that just they. I mean, they crush in the playoffs. It's just the same thing with Dallas. Dallas is the same way. They could go 14-2 now, right? With the
Yeah.
there's the bot with the extra. I don't know. They added that extra week and it fucks me up. Um, they could go. They're gonna lose in the first round of the playoffs every year. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
And there's just teams like that. Bills fall apart in the playoffs too. I
Yeah.
would not like to have to face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game every year, as much as I
I
fucking
know.
hate the Chiefs. But it was nice watching us destroy them. And I'll tell you this: I was scared that they were going to come back up until probably 8 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Mm.
I have the utmost respect for the Chiefs. I assumed they were going to come back and make a game of it, and the Eagles just never let up. And
Yeah.
that's not their MO. Normally we let up, and then the other team comes back, and it's always a 2-minute race to see who's going to fuck up first.
Yeah. No, the Eagles said, "Fuck no, we're crushing you."
that dagger throw from fucking Jalen to Smith,
Oh yeah.
Schmitty, the Slim Reaper, as we like to call him here.
Yeah.
A beauty, thing of beauty, man. And
Yeah.
we leaned on Saquon all year except that game. He threw the lights out. So,
Yeah.
are
There
we
was
gonna
actually-
repeat this year? Probably not, because it's tough to.
Mm.
But I'll be interested to see because we lost a lot of people on the defense, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. There was actually only one Super Bowl I ever turned off and said, "I'm done watching this," and that was with the Broncos.
Oh,
No.
yeah, that was a bad game.
Where like the first 30 seconds they got a safety,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, turn it off, turn it off. I'm done. I don't even want to watch the commercials.
The commercials suck anymore, dude. They're just
Yeah.
not good. I mean, there's always like one or two gems, but especially
Yeah.
this year, they're very lackluster.
Yeah. They need to-
And who knows? I mean, they could cost what? It's like 50
Probably because of
mil.
the strike.
True. Yeah, the
The
strike
writers'
did
strike that happened. I
help.
mean, yeah.
Let me ask you this. So how difficult for you is it to get in and out of character, right? Because your studio is at home.
Yep.
So, is it tough when you're playing an evil bad guy to get out of character and go into your loving all female family? Like, is there a line there sometimes that is difficult for you?
Yes. It is because I get so into character sometimes. I actually will meditate, and I'll actually there's a few therapeutic exercises that I do to kind of decompress, just to be like, all right, I need to get out of that headspace. I'm not this person. I'm back. And then I'll see my kids, and then I'll be like, oh, cool. Or my teenagers will do something stupid. I'll be like, maybe I am this evil character. No,
You're
just kidding,
grounded.
I'll just decompress, or I'll go up, and my wife will see me. I'll be like, I'll go like this, just give me 2 minutes. Meaning I just got to decompress. She gets it, so she'll take the baby away, and be like, all right, okay, I'm good. I'm all right. Everything's fine.
Now, what's the preparation look like for do you prepare the same way as if you're doing a car commercial? Cause I watched some of your YouTubes, which was cool. Or you being the baby voiceover, or what does that look like to you? From video game to commercial, do you prepare differently, or is it kind of all the same relative preparation to get into the headspace?
I look at it as more with video games, anime, that type of things, cartoons. It's more theatrics, if you will. I'm doing a really crazy extension. This is the evil side of me up, brought up to 1,000. This is the heroic side of me brought up to 1,000. This is the crazy side of me brought to 1,000. Whereas commercials, another thing, the key word you're gonna always hear is keep it conversational. So I just like it I'm talking to someone. Like you are right now. It's exactly how I'm speaking in my commercials. Sometimes, they'll say a relaxed tone. So I'll kind of sit back, put my hands in my pocket, be like, all right, let's do this. It just depending on the tone they need, A lot of times, I just keep it conversational when it comes to other things. Like if you're talking to your best friend, it's what they always say in every single friggin' breakdown. Keep a conversational, non-announcery. Keep a conversational, non-announcery. I fucking get it.
Now, one thing before I started doing podcasting, and it's what I hear a lot, is obviously audio is king, right?
Hmm.
Now, I'll tell you this: I didn't spend a ton of money on my stuff. I think my mic is $100 mic. It's not $1,000 mic. My mixer is a $75 mixer. It's not a crazy expensive mixer, but it's tuned well because a buddy of mine that I work with is an audio guy. Like he plays like 19 different instruments. So I brought it in. I'm like, hey, I need you to tune this for me. So he's like, I have fucking 30 dials over here, and I'm not an audio. I know how to edit audio, but I'm not an audio engineer. And he's just like, boop, 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 and I sound great. So now I just mimic it anytime I get a new one. Like if this one dies, I'll get the same one, and I'll just mimic everything that he has set. How important is it for someone that's getting into your space, maybe as a voice actor, to get some next level audio gear? Because obviously, if you have shitty gear,
Yep.
it's gonna hurt your stock, right?
Exactly. I look at the same way as my father was an electrician. I look the same way. It doesn't matter how talented or skilled you are. If you have shitty tools, you're going to get shitty results. If a pair of pliers are rusted or they don't work, doesn't matter what you do to them, like what you do, how skilled you are, your work is going to come out crappy. It's the same way. Now, you don't have to go ahead and just dive in and spend like thousands of dollars. I always say first, do research, then get coaching. After coaching, make the demos. After the demo, then get the equipment. There's actually a Facebook group called VO Gear Exchange. And the microphone you see right there, that's the Sennheiser 416. Mic goes for $1,000. I bought it for $400 because a guy was selling them because he had 5 of them. He's like,
Wow.
I don't need 5. Who wants it? $400. I have another one is the Neumann TLM 102. That usually goes for like $1,300, sometimes $2,000. I got it for $600 because again, like they're like, it's in a smoke-free home. I don't need this mic. I want to go to a good home. All the equipment you see here is all, aside from the blankets, pointer there, like everything's secondhand. Even this booth I bought because someone was like, he was a guitar player for a band, and he's like, I don't need it anymore. Anyone want it? And I'm like, yes. And I think we sold it for like $800. And this booth itself actually goes for like over $4,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a steal. It was actually driving up to Pennsylvania, like a good 6-hour drive. I had to go and lift this heavy ass studio by myself. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'll drive the 6 hours to go pick it up. So I asked my
That's
wife
cool.
if it was okay. Yeah.
Hey, look, man. You know what? I was always brought up. My mom is a thrift store shopper,
Mhm.
yard sale shopper, and I'm a sucker for a deal, man. And this is the level of nerd I am. And last December, I got back into collecting trading cards. So I started with Pokemon, and
Nice.
because it just is a vintage feel for me. I also like
Oh,
to
yeah.
build businesses, so I'm selling it, right? So it's kind of a twofer. I get to open the cards because it's gambling, right, for kids, and then I also get to build the business and sell. So I did all that, created the logo, started selling that stuff. But a lot of the things that I learned, I either learned from other people, but also found deals for things. And also when I go to trade shows, like, we go to, I drag the wifey with me. I just give her some booze. She's fine. But we'll go to trading card shows and I haggle. I'm a haggler, man. And I got that from my
Absolutely, yeah.
mom. So like, if it's $60, I'm like, hey, you take 50. And then they're normally like, I'll give 55. All right, cool. Still cheaper
Yeah.
than what they were asking. And if market price is 45, but I paid 55 instead of 60, yeah, it is what it
Yeah.
is. They make a little, I pay a little less.
How you like to buy them all.
What's that?
How do you buy them all?
She likes it when I just buy everything
At a cheaper price.
at a cheaper price. Like,
Absolutely.
so I'll haggle a bit. So a lot of times, like, a lot of people my age, our age, got back into Pokemon when it's called Pokemon 151. that set came out. The original 151, the chase cards Charizard, right? We're all very sentimental about that.
Absolutely.
So I got into the hobby pretty late. So a lot of the 151 stuff was pretty pricey. So I went to this one trade show, and the guy had, I think, and there's a lot of stuff. Did you collect Pokemon when you were younger?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We all did, right?
Yeah.
Well,
never got a Charizard. I got a Blastoise and Ivysaur. Never a Charizard.
It's a lot. The hobby's crazy, dude. It's right now. It's like the stock market. It's like insanely high. Like if you're to look at trading card values, sports cards are like up 100%, 200%. Pokemon's up 3,000%, right? So I get to this show, and the guy had they're called booster bundles. So there's 6 packs in a booster bundle, and the guy I think had 4, and I'll walk up, and the wifey's with me, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to buy these now. I'm gonna try to do $5 less for each, but I'm gonna buy them all. And she's like, I like that. Let's go for it. I always bring cash too, because they love cash. I'm like,
absolutely, right, yeah.
I will give you 55. But I'll buy all 4 right now for cash. Take it or leave it. And the guys are really like, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go,
Yeah.
I just love the haggle, man. There's something, Mom, if you're listening, watching, it's because of you that I'm a haggler.
It's kind of like gambling and you're winning.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's a good feeling. It releases
I do love me some gambling. I'm not gonna lie. I do love to do some sports betting, fantasy football. It's all encompassing, and I got the wifey doing it, so we got her in some fantasy leagues. Are you a fantasy guy at all?
I am, but I stopped. I only did it one and done, and I only bet on sports once, and that was during that fucking Bronco game.
She's like, fuck it. I bet on the game. It sucked. I'm done. Never again.
Yeah, I was just like, no. And someone won, I think, like $1,500. I know what Mark Cuban won, like something like $20 million because he bet like the first play was going to be a safety, and the odds were so against him, and he won something like $20 million. He won, and I saw like one of my relatives win $1,500, and I'm like, no, I'm done. No, never again.
So, we talked a lot about kind of your journey and some things. Can you give me some maybe some best practices for maybe someone that's newer thinking about getting into voice acting? We talked a little bit about the gear, right? You don't have to spend full money on that, but talk a little bit about maybe someone that's looking to get into the craft. Is there anything that you would like to bestow upon them? Whether it's how you do it, getting an agent's not easy, certain things like that.
So one thing is you have to be able to have thick skin. You got to take constructive criticism, and you have to be open. 2, you have to take direction. Like if you could take direction well, you're worth your weight in gold. I'm very happy to say, like, one of the things about me is I take direction well. If my first take I give may suck completely, but if they say, hey, read it this way, I go, oh, okay. And I read it. I'm like, oh, that's really good. Like, hey, you take direction well. That's great. 3rd, please do your fucking research on coaches. I hear ever since the friggin' pandemic, right? A million people say, oh, I'm a coach. And it's mainly the people who just only done anime. Now, don't get me wrong. Doing anime is fun. I've done anime. But the pay is not that great. It's nice, but it's not that great compared to, other work. But they think but it's the most popular. They get invited to conventions. It's a wonderful marketing tool to voice anime. Now they'll say like, oh, I could be a coach. And I would ask them like, oh, like, what's your, like, give me your resume of a coach. I want to know, like, what have you done? Oh, I've done this. And I'm like, well, that's just anime. Have you done commercials? Have you done this? Oh, I did one of these. And then they kind of get offended. Like, why are you questioning me? Like, what's wrong? Like, you either want to work for me, you don't. I'm like, well, I'm interviewing you, just like you're interviewing me. So you got to do your research, because I've seen so many people got ripped off by people pretending to be a coach. One recently, I'm sure you can look it up, allegations against one voice actor who people were like, I gave this guy money to make a demo, and it's now 6 months later and I haven't gotten anything. And I'm like, Like, you got to do your research. Like, just because they're popular doesn't make them a good coach. I mean, I'm going to throw Steve Bloom. I think, like, for 30 years, he just decided to be a coach. I could be wrong, but, like, that's the first time of him seeing, like, opening up to coaching people one-on-one. And I'm like, well, he's been doing it for over 30 years. And a lot of voice actors who've been doing it for 40 years are not coaches because they just want to voice act.
Yeah.
And I said, look at their, there's a quote from Wolf on Wall Street, don't judge me by my winners, judge me by my losers because I have so few. Look at the coach. What have they done? They should have a variety of fields. They can focus on one thing, like they're only coaching audiobooks, they only coach commercials, but they should have a well-rounded wheelhouse of work that they've done. And they should also be represented by several accredited agencies. Not like Joe Schmo for the bar over in the corner who like got them a job here and there, but let's say Atlas Talent, not those, but like other good, like those are like the top agencies, but other good like voice acting agencies have been around for a while and they booked some work with that. And they should at least be in the voice acting field for a minimum of 10 years. And I say that because 10 years is a well-rounded number, because when you go into voice acting, you're essentially starting your own business. And the first thing they teach you in business school is you won't make profit till about 3 to 5 years later after you've been in business. And once you do that, like you're around. I think it's going to take a good, like you could be like the few rare talents that knock it out of the park as soon as they start. I know a few. Gabriel Kunda was one. He just hit the ground running and he was extremely successful, still is. And there's other people who've been at it for over 20 years and they just made it big. Overnight success takes 20 years to accomplish. And you just got to make sure, I got a little off sidetrack a little bit. I'm sorry. Just
Nah,
like,
you're
make
good,
sure,
man.
like they've been like 10 years. That's enough experience that they had, in the voice acting field. And, interview their students, do research on them. That's nothing. And another piece of advice I have is it's very easy to have imposter syndrome or feel defeated by looking at other people's success. And there's going to be times where like you're going to audition for months, years and get nothing. And you're going to easily get deflated. That happens. Just like if you're starting to, stream video games or starting a podcast, it's going to take some time to build a momentum. Some days are greater than others. Some days aren't. You got to remember it is a marathon, not a race. It's going to take a while for you to start. When I started, I took a good 3 years since I really started making money. And even then I got lucky. And there's times where like, hey, my profits are really good. Other times my profits are really, really bad. But you know what? It's just a matter of, not losing the momentum and be like, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not losing. So you have to, realize it's a marathon, not a race. You can audition and get nothing. Because I talked to a lot of people. Just this year, I'm starting to do coaching because one of my mentors and coaches said, Chris, I'm teaching. Guess what? You're coaching my next class. Deal with it. Oh, shit. Okay. And he's like, you have the experience. You have the expertise. You know more than any other people. You know more than these people. Just do it. I'm like, all right. I just, what? Sure. Why not? It could be fun. And I like coaching students. I like helping them out. Again, I got sidetracked. I'm so sorry. So
You're good, dude. So that's a good, I think, starter kit for people.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so much more, and anyone they could always reach out to me, and I'd be happy to, sit down and explain like an hour's worth of time, because just so many people get ripped off. They want instant gratification. A lot of people nowadays, they want that. I blame social media, but it is what it is.
It's 100% social media's fault.
Yeah, they see people on TikTok. And, they see a guy doing voice impersonations of Tommy Lee Jones, of Robin Williams, of like all the famous actors out there, and they like follow him. I'm like, well, that's great. He does impersonations. What else can he do? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's such a small wheelhouse, and people see like, oh, this person, this TikToker does this, or he looks out a window and makes fun of people's cooking, things of like that nature. You know what I mean? And then like they get thousands of views, and like, I want that instant success. And it's not going to happen. It might. It's very, very, very rare. Like you might a week later get represented by a major agency and boom, you start making money like crazy and you start like rising to the top, but it is rare, and you won't get that instant satisfaction that you want, and you got to be okay with that. You got to realize, like I said, it's a marathon, not a race.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the other stuff too, right? Getting an agent,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually getting enough work to actually get into the Screen Actors Guild. I mean, I know both of those things are really difficult because I've had a couple actors on my show that have told me just how difficult that is to do.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. And I'm also about like, you also need to take like a business class, a marketing class, because you're marketing your voiceover services. You got to know how to like talk and negotiate and understand your rates and make sure. And most importantly, I will say this, and I don't give a fuck what people think. Stay the fuck off voices.com and Fiverr. That's what I'm going to tell everyone. Stay off those two sites. You'll be okay.
yeah, that's more like if I were to think of things, that's more of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a not a 1099, but it's like you're like just like getting one job done. That's not
Yeah.
gonna like
W2 or
like-
W6 or something. I don't know.
yeah, whatever. It's not. It's a 1099. I think it's a 1099. Whatever. But it's not getting you to the next level. You're getting $50 for, saying a script for somebody.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not going to propel you in your career. Let's end it with this. Tell me, Chris, what is your dream gig in the voice acting world? And we'll end with plugging whatever you got going on. Anything for the near future we can look forward to, and also where we can find your work.
Absolutely. So my dream job, I have two. One is to do voice character in a big animation or cartoon project. I'd love to be, or at least be like a recurring character on that. Let's say like a Steven Universe show or something along the lines of that. On like Cartoon
Like
Network,
SpongeBob.
Nickelodeon. Like it's almost like that. It doesn't have to be a main character. It could be a small recurring character, like the guy who always screams "My leg."
I just got the wifey into SpongeBob, by the way. She's never really watched it.
I'm not gonna regret it.
And there's just a channel that just always plays SpongeBob, and it's just something you can put on and just laugh because of how silly and ridiculous everything is.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can always find me like all my social media pages have the same name. It's at Chris Dattoli, VO, DATTOLI, VO, TikTok and everything. You find me. And my website's dattolivoiceovers.com. Big pride. I can announce it. Oh, I'm sorry. My other dream project, if I had to say it, is I would love to do an on-camera project with my cousin. He's an on-screen actor. And it was kind of cool, him and I talking, like me being the voice and him being like an on-camera actor whenever he could talk. And then I somehow got into doing on-camera work every now and then. And I'm like, you know what? I would just for one day like work on a project with my cousin just so I can like hang out with him. Like I think that'd be really cool.
That's cool.
So-
It's always good to be able to like work with family to a certain degree. Not
Yes.
like being ingrained into it because family's family, but
Yes, like you found me. Other projects, let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to think which ones I can talk about. There's one I was just on. I was a character Murrow on a video game called Identity V. Hullabaloo. It's called Hullabaloo. I was actually like really shocked. I got that and figured out how big that game was. So you could check me on that. I'm actually in September. I'm a guest at a convention called J1Con. It's down in Atlantic City at the Showboat. I'm going to
Okay.
be there. And that's pretty much it. Just check my social media channels. And if anyone wants to reach out to me and how to get started in voice acting, look at my website, reach out to me. My phone number is right there. Give me a call or email.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, look, it was a pleasure having you on. Drink Clock Pod on all socials. Drink Clock Podcast wherever you listen to. It goes on fucking everything. So, awesome, man. Have a great night, and thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Take care, buddy.
You too. Hanging out.
On a stormy night where legends unfold, there's a podcast that's breaking the mold. Raise your voices, raise your glass high. Welcome to the Drink O'Clock Podcast. Let's dive. Oh, grab an old-fashioned and join the fray. Raise your spirits, let the music play. From the corner pub to the dance hall floor. Drink Club Podcast, we're ready for more. We're ready for more. With a mix of folklore and rebel cheer here, we'll guide you through tales of whiskey and beer. From Irish shores to lands afar, grab your friends, it's time to raise the